Hopefully we're still live and it didn't actually restart. Can you guys confirm if it's still live for you? Or did it just start a new live? Which kind of sucks if it did. If it did, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Smitty from the Fantasy Football Show, and we're getting back to it. Let's review the next team. We'll go to the wrapper since we already talked about the wrapper. Guys, did it restart the live? I assume it did. My bad. Chubb, Galladay, Lamar. See, it did restart it. Damn it. That sucks. Sorry about that. I froze up on me. New stream. Damn it. Oh well. Part 2 of the Fantasy Football Show, Fantasy Football Throne Team Reviews. Welcome back. I tried to get it to restart the same session, but it crashed. YouTube's giving me difficulties today. Where's the intro music? We got to do the intro then. Welcome to the Fantasy Football Show. I'm your man, Smitty. We're doing the Fantasy Football Throne Reviews. We already did my team. I guess we got to throw my team back up on the screen real quick since this is like a new stream now. I'm going to have 2 damn streams for this review, which really, really sucks, but whatever. So let me throw my team back up onto the board, and we'll look at it real quickly because it took us like 45 minutes to do the team review. Cook at number 1. Love it because we backed it up with Madison at number 7.6. Then we took Godwin in the second round. We took Patty Mahomes at 3.6, which my fantasy league, the app, the site that we drafted on, said Pat Mahomes was the number 1 overall best player drafted, best value in this draft. And I agree with said analysis. And I normally don't rank high. We rank second out of all the teams. I normally don't rank high because I'm betting on guys like Metcalf before they happen, AJ Brown before they happen, Kareem Hunt before they happen. I love our DK Metcalf pick. DK is going to ball extremely well and often in 2020. He's going to drop loads all over the field and get you double-digit touchdowns and well over 1,000 yards. DK is going to be fire in 2020. So our first 4 or 5 picks, I couldn't be more happy with. Cooks was, he's going to do okay, but look who we took at number 8.7, Debo. Debo's going to be our wide receiver 3. We only need Cooks not to get hit in the head and drop some decent stats for a couple of weeks. Then Debo will be back. Ronald Jones is an iffy backup to our running back 2, Kareem Hunt. But you know who I love most of all? From the 10-round range on, Mecole Hardman. If Patty Mahomes is throwing 45 to 50 TDs, Mecole Hardman's catching a bunch of them. Somebody's got to eat outside of Tyreek Hill, and if Tyreek Hill went down, Mecole Hardman would explode. And even if Tyreek Hill doesn't go down, you can't expect that. It's an upside type of advantage to having Mecole on your team. But if Mecole Hardman goes down, if Tyreek Hill goes down, he'll explode. If he doesn't, I still think Hardman's going to eat a ton. In a 40 to 50 TD passing offense, a wide receiver 2 is going to be as good as some wide receiver 1s on other teams. I have no problem at all waiting on Mecole Hardman, even if he takes a little bit of time getting going. B- to A-, depending on what happens with Hunt and Samuel and Hardman and Gronk. One of those guys could explode and push us into the A category. I'm being honest and realistic that we need one of those things to happen for us to win and dominate, but I feel very confident we collected the best group of players to do that in Hunt, in Metcalf becoming like a top 7 wide receiver. If that happens, that will be that one thing we need to step up and make this team into a top 3 team. Hunt, that could happen. Samuel jumping back and being really, really good right away. That could happen. Mecole Hardman stepping up. Gronk being... I love it. I love the options we've assembled to give us that what if this guy needs to... One of these guys needs to explode for us to take off. I love what we've assembled here. Next team is going to be the rapper who has a very similar build than us, although he thinks that our Mahomes pick was awful when he took Lamar Jackson the pick before. He took Jackson at 3.5. We took Mahomes at 3.6, and he said, bad pick. Not according to the league management software, rapper, because it said we had the best pick in the draft with that Patty Mahomes pick. So chew on that. But I like his team, to be honest. Chubb didn't get Hunt. We got Hunt. We took Hunt in the 5th round, Rapper. You should have grabbed him. But I love your Galladay pick. Galladay's going to ball. Galladay's one of the coolest, smoothest, secret weapon wide receiver ones that you can sometimes get at like 3.02, 3.04. He took him a little early. He's the reacher. We call him the fantasy football reacher for a reason. The fantasy football reached number 5 overall for Nick Chubb. That's a reach. That's a reach around. That's a reach around twice. Could it work out? Yeah. You could pop up flush on this one and him earn you 5 to 7 running back value. But you got to have him drop loads all year, Rapper, in order to earn that 5th overall value, which he could earn. Then Galladay, I just told you how much I love Galladay. I just got through telling you how much I love Galladay. Yet, taking him this high, he's got to do what you think he can do, what I think he can do, to earn your value. You're reaching. Fantasy football reacher. Lamar is not a reach. That was an amazing move that I think saved this team because it was on a collision course with reaching way too much, way too fast, way too often. First 2 picks were reaches, despite liking them. And the old reach around, the double reach around. He did the double back-to-back double reach around. Rapper's a reacher. And the Taylor pick, I like the Jonathan Taylor pick. We contemplated Taylor instead of DK. We did. So that wasn't a bad choice. I think that he could be slow moving, though. He could maybe not get a hold of that starting spot for a while. I love the Chark pick. As you can see the pattern here, I like all the players he's taken all the way through to the 7th round. Like, I'm not huge on Hurst like everybody else for whatever reason. I don't love his Zach Moss pick. Gibson was pretty good. Renfro, I guess, a terrible pick. Daniel Jones, I like. That's a good pick. Goddard, I don't see how Hurst and Goddard beat our tight end so overwhelmingly, according to almost everybody. Even some of my own followers think that drafted Gronk, that think that Gronk and forget about Greg Olsen. He's our backup. Like, we grabbed the best backup available. Gronk over Hurst, and let's say we had one tight end Gronk only in the free agent options. I still like Gronk over Hurst and Goddard together. I do. Don't at me. I do. I think Gronk has top 7 tight end upside. I don't understand how everybody's so high on Hurst already when he hasn't proven that he's the next Andrews yet. He's a good speculative, like he could be a top 6 to 10 tight end, but why everyone thinks that the risk of him not doing what everybody thinks he's going to do is any different or heavier than the risk of Gronk not showing back up at his form, I don't understand how it's not even type stuff right there. Like Slayton, I'm going to give this team a B minus. I like it. I got to be honest. I can't just throw like sling mud back at him because I know he doesn't love our team. I like it. Like, I like your team. I think you did a lot of reaching, and Lamar Jackson, who I think your community drafted more than you, Rapper, because you do not draft QBs early. Lamar Jackson was the savior of this team and gave it a whole bunch of balance and value back that it may not have had that been a Juju Smith-Schuster, who I know that's who Rapper wanted at that number 3 third round pick, that 3.5. If it was up to Rapper, that would be Juju Smith-Schuster, and I'd be ranking this team a D. Even though I like Juju and the upside, that would have been one too many reach arounds for one sitting, bro. that would have been 4 straight reach arounds. Hold on, where's my take a lap? This is what I would have done. You're taking a lap anyway, because
take a lap.
I believe your followers saved you, but Rapper, in the end, you have an amazingly, strangely built team that I think can definitely be in the top 5. And you're ranked really low, I think, on MFL and on ESPN, so they clearly think that there's some holes to fill. I think JK and Taylor, they just aren't strong options out of the gate, but I think between one of them, you will be getting some strong starts. in like the second half of the season out of one of those guys at least. So Taylor probably will be firing on all cylinders by then. But you definitely would have been the quadruple reach around. Had you gone Chubb, Galladay, Juju like you wanted, Rapper, and Taylor, you would have been reaching and preaching all day long, twice on Sundays. Good job, though. I like the team. It ended up well. You are I'd say top 6. Yeah, bench isn't great. I'd say top 6. Beast. Let's give Beast a look. I saw some mini Beast comments in the chat here. Josh Jacobs, Jingleheimer, Schmidt. This guy is the safest running back you can draft in the 7, 8 overall to like 12 to 13, 14 overall range, because his floor value, if they ignore him, if they do not want to give him the receptions and PPR work that he deserves, he will still earn you back this value probably without question, without hesitation, as long as he's healthy. Now, he has upside for top 5 top 5 running back numbers. I'm trying to do 2 things at once here. And I think because of that upside, like you could take him at 6 or 7, even though his upside's only top 5 to 6. It's great because he can easily earn you back at your value on a disappointing season, like if they don't give him those receptions. So I really like it. Nice job. Let me see if I can get into my... I feel like I'm live. People are saying I'm live twice. I got 2 lives up because the other live crashed and I didn't get to end it. So let me just pop in here and see if I can end it. I don't know. Maybe it did. It did end. Okay. So, Mini Beast team. Tyreek Hill, Jacobs, love those 2. I don't like Chris Carson. I just talked about Juju being a total like waste of a 3rd round pick. Not waste, but like that would be the reach of all reaches right there. Like getting him in the 4th round is a little bit better. I think he definitely can earn that. And I'm not a Juju hater. I think Juju could be a bounce back candidate for sure. He could be definitely a bounce back candidate for 2020. No question about it. I think he could be a top 10 wide receiver. But there's still a ton of risk and unknowns. Making him your 3rd drafted player feels like a disaster. Even if it worked out, it was a risk you didn't need to take. Taking Juju in the 4th round is much different. It becomes much safer. I like Devontae Parker. I don't like Akers. I've told you guys I don't like anybody on that Rams offense in terms of the running backs because of the way they use them and lie about them and not utilize their talent. Now, Darrell Henderson I've taken late in drafts because I believe Darrell Henderson will actually have a shot, and at his low double-digit round, almost end of the draft ADP. Why not? But I think that Akers, people believe in Akers, that he's going to walk in on a shortened offseason where he can't even absorb a playbook and get the faith of that coaching staff, unlike Darrell Henderson did. No, it's going to be the same story. It's going to be disappointment for you, and Akers is not as good as I think people are making him out to be. Could he get there? Could he develop now that he's at the NFL level? Sure, there are a lot of players that didn't show that they had exactly what it took to be an elite player at the NFL level, and then they developed at the NFL level. I'm not writing him off from that development, but walking in, he's a raw talent, crosses his feet, lowers his head at every turn, uses just pure brute strength, which worked at the college level, but he's going to be playing bigger, stronger players at the NFL. You can't just lower your head and ram it into people over and over, and that's his MO. Like, watch the film on him. Akers is raw and use brute force to get every yard he got. And it worked well. I'm not saying it didn't, but he's a big risk. This team overall, I love the Antonio Brown. That's the X factor here. Antonio Brown at round 11. I love it. I took him in the Scott Fish Bowl League, I think a 10-11 turn. And it could win you a league and it could cost you. It literally is, zero risk. Who cares? Doesn't work out, whatever. But Antonio Brown needs to be remembered. You need to remember his name when you get to the double-digit rounds, especially like round 10. Start thinking about it. Don't let anybody else like come up with that idea. Grab Antonio Brown and you're like, damn, why didn't I do that? When Antonio Brown gets taken in drafts right now, you will see 1 to 4 or 5 people give you a comment like, I forgot about him, or damn, like, take the risk. You don't know what's in store for that guy. It could be nothing. It could be one game and he goes crazy and walks off the field. I don't know, but he's worth grabbing. This team overall, I would give a Jacobs Hill. I don't like the Carson pick. I just don't. I don't trust him. I don't think Carson's going to be there when it counts. He disappoints pretty much every time I've ever put faith in the guy. And I think third drafted player value is just way too high. I would say this team's at B minus, flirting on a C, but I think if Juju does pan out, and I think he could at fourth round value, this team would be looking pretty solid. The only problem is I don't think it's going to hang QB wise with some of the other teams. Like, I've got a much stronger quarterback situation than he does. And does he really have a better running back situation? I don't think he does. I take Cook and Madison locked together over Jacobs and Carson. Cook and Madison and Hunt over Jacobs and Carson and Akers any day of the week. And at wide receiver, we've got Godwin, DK, and eventually Deebo Samuel. He's got Hill, Juju, and Parker. We beat him at wide receiver, and we crush him at quarterback. And at tight end, I like Ingram a lot more, I'll be honest. But I think we can still somehow hang with him. So that's why I can't rank him ahead of us. I'm going to give him a C+, actually. C+. I'm going to try and blast through these reviews because I am actually taking forever. Eckler, Hopkins, Gordon, Brown, Swift, Murray. I love this team. It is Smitty built. I didn't know Guru was a sleeperu.com subscriber. This is new to me. I'm excited. He must be. He's got to be. In fact, let me go search through and find out if he is, because this is a Smitty built team. This has Smitty. It smells Smitty all over the place. Eckler, Hopkins, Melvin Gordon, A.J. Brown. Swift is good value there. Potential. I don't love him there. I don't hate him there. I think he could do really well there, but it doesn't risk you a whole lot, so I like that. Murray, I would have taken Murray in the 5th round. I wouldn't even risked it and taken Swift in the 6th round, and I'd be looking at the same roster and be like, oh, that Swift pick in the 6th round was great, and that Murray pick was safe and perfect. Like, it's funny. It all worked out probably the same, and somehow I'd rate it higher had he taken Kyler in the 5th and Swift in the 6th round pick, but that's the nature of just the perception of where these guys are going. What round did you take him in? You know, it's and in his case, he has the back-to-back picks, so it's like, it doesn't matter, 12 or 13. But when you break it down visually, you're like, oh my God, Swift in the 5th round. They're back-to-back picks. They're both essentially the first pick of the 6th round. But it's funny how your eyes do that to you. When you're breaking down a team, it's like, you don't know where they took them. Like, in this context, if you took the rounds out, you didn't know that they were back-to-back picks. You would literally be like, oh man, he got lucky that Murray didn't fall. You know, even when I first started talking about, forgot he's back to back. Deontay Johnson, not bad. Higbee, I like Higbee a lot. I think that's decent, but I worry about the team using him properly. Mike Williams is good value in the 11th round. Minshew's decent. I mean, I think this team started out on fire because Eckler, Hopkins, Melvin Gordon, A.J. Brown, Kyler Murray, Swift, that's freaking fire. And then I feel like it just kind of got bland. You know, Coleman, Mims is a rookie. I like Mims, but he's a rookie. He's going to take a year. Evans, Minshew, Samuel, Thomas, Ruggs is kind of exciting, I guess, even as a rookie. Deontay's okay. I think he's getting a little overhyped, but you know, he could definitely do okay. It just got bland. Like after the Kyler Murray pick in round 6, it just got bland. The depth I'm not excited about. So for that reason, I'm going to put it down to a B minus. I think we're still better than this team. I think we're a B plus on the verge of becoming an A with one thing happening, but I still think our team's better than this team. I like it a lot though. I mean, A.J. Brown ends up being a top 5 wide receiver. Hopkins ends up being top 5. If Eckler's top 5, this will be a team that's definitely in the top 6. Analyst, let's break down your team, young man. Mixon, Julio, Bell, Woods, Ertz. This is a very no offense at all. Analyst, he's my boy. He knows he's my boy. But this is a very magazine-looking team, bro. Like Mixon and Julio. That's what a magazine would tell you to draft. Bell, you know, the thing is, it's gonna do okay. Like if Mixon ends up working out, I do actually think the team will be fine. Ertz is pretty decent value. It's kind of like not the pick that excites everybody, but at the 5th round value, especially 5.10, that's not bad. Woods, I'm mixed on that. Like 4th round, I get people liking Woods in 2020. I get it, but 4.3, hard to say that's a steal. Could he earn it? Sure, but I don't know that I'd call that a steal. Lev Bell at 3.10, I think he could be a steal there, and I think he's probably safe there. I like getting him in the 4th round though, but we're talking about he's almost in the 4th round. Again, context here, 3.10 is almost the 4th round, but I just think when I see him slotted as my 4th drafted player, I'm excited. When I see him as my 3rd, I tend to just be like, almost got him at that place where I feel really comfortable at. And if Woods was a better selection there, in my opinion, because it just feels early, it feels like you could have, moved him down to the 5th or something. But people are drafting Woods high. You want to own Woods, you got to grab him. Noah says his team sucks. Mixon is going to be a bust again. Joe, I'm all about avoiding Joe Mixon, man. Master says Brown will take the 7th or 8th round by draft day. Sorry I haven't been answering any questions. I'm doing a review, so I'm trying to stay on point. If I answered every question, I would not be able to do the review. I'm going to give this team a C-. I like Ertz, I like Bell, I like Julio, I like Mixon, but I'm just feeling like a magazine. This got auto-picked. This is one of those good auto-picked teams that can definitely hang. It's going to be in the top 7-ish. But I don't know if it's going to be in the top 5, top 4. Computer, did you draft this team?
I don't know that.
She doesn't know. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next team. State of mind. My boy State. Henry. Miles Sanders, Cooper Kupp, Thielen, Mostert, Hollywood Brown. God, it's weird because, Henry, I like it. Sanders, just too high for me. 2.4, I can't do it. I know everybody's excited about this guy. I know everybody thinks that Devonta Freeman won't land there. They're going to have no other running back. They're going to finally, this coaching staff, run one running back at full-time, capacity. I just don't buy into it yet at 2.4. Would I buy into that risk and say, I think the team might, and the PPR works there. For 3rd round value, I would like 3rd round value. But I don't know that I'm on board with 2.4 value. I think the risk is not baked in for that. And Cooper Kupp, to back that up, is very risky too, in my opinion. I like Kupp, but this is this feels a little rapperish. It's the reach, extreme reach for Sanders, followed by another extreme reach on Kupp, followed by another potential reach in Thielen. And so I'm not feeling the Thielen or the Kupp or the Sanders picks. Love the Henry pick. Then it gets interesting again. I love the Mostert pick, even though he's holding out potentially. He has no leverage. He'll be back. Mostert at 5th round value is really good. Hollywood Brown at 6th round value. I love it. Josh Allen, I love it in the 8th. Jordan Howard, I don't like that pick much at all. I don't know what quarterbacks were there in round 7. They should have probably maybe upgraded a tiny bit if they could have. Like if Deshaun Watson was still there, which I think he might have been. I'm not positive on that. But if there was a better quarterback option, I love Josh Allen, but that would have been the pick to make this team really, really decent. But I don't know. I don't like round 2, 3, or 4, but I get back on board. So I love round 1, love round 5, love round 6. Round 8 was good. And let's see. Fitz was okay in the 14th. I think Fitz could be a decent 4th wide receiver this year. But I'm going to give this team a C+ with upside. If Sanders ends up working out, if Kupp does end up being just an absolute monster, or Thielen returns and let's say Kupp's okay, if Thielen returns to form somehow and Sanders is a monster and Henry stays healthy all year, then it could be a B type team. For now, C+. Analyst, State of Mind, you're still my boy. But that's how I feel about that. Okay. Fantasy football fix. Adams, Drake. I love the Drake pick. I would have went Drake at 1.8, and then Adams probably wouldn't have fallen. But I would have got Godwin. We took Godwin at 2.6, so he would have got Drake and Godwin still. So it still would have been, I think, equivalent. but I wouldn't have risked it. I would have taken the running back at 1.8. I wouldn't have put any risk on the table at that point and gone wide receiver, because I think that Godwin and those wide receivers that will fall to you are just as capable as like an Adams. I like Adams more, but Godwin's right there. Like, I wouldn't, if you're in a draft, I wouldn't take the risk of not taking the running back in the bottom of the first round. Bottom of the first round is running back. Just don't mess around with a wide receiver, because Godwin or whoever will be there for you, and you can get those wide receivers late. You screw up at running back this year, it's different than other years. Normally I'm best player available across the board, and for the most part I still am here. But when all things are relatively even or very, very close, I will, in the first round, especially the 7 to 12 pick, lean a little bit more in terms of the position need of running back, because things feel very, 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 very close to being even. So best player available still applies. But anyway, you're not behind Drake, Joe. I love Drake. I think Drake's got a ball. Adams, Drake, Amari Cooper, I'm torn there. I think it's okay value, but I'm not feeling like it's a steal. James Conner was probably way too high in the 4th round. I don't like that. He could work out, but that's a big risk given the players that were probably available right at that pick. Lockett, okay. Waller, one of the steals of the draft. Waller at 6.5. Just telling you, that's one of the steals of this draft. I love it. So Drake, Adams, Cooper. This is a top 6 team-ish. Yeah, I like it. I think I'm running out of top. And Watson, I didn't even get to Watson yet at 7th round value. What in the hell is going on here? That's the only thing that makes me think passing on Pat Mahomes is worth it, is when you see Watson fall way too far. Like, I don't mind taking Mahomes in the 2nd or 3rd round, late 2nd round, when, you see Watson go in the 5th or 6th. Like, I like that. But when you see Watson go at 7.8, it makes you a little bit mad. It makes you wonder what your team would have looked like with Watson in the 7th round. In fact, let's pull our team up. Let's reverse engineer this biatch. So, here's our team. We got Patty Mahomes. I don't know who exactly was available at that 3rd round pick, but let's say, I think it actually thinned out a ton, so I don't know that it wouldn't. But let's just say let's just say we reached on an AJ Brown there. So if we would have had Cook, Godwin, AJ Brown, Metcalf. So Godwin, AJ Brown, Metcalf, Cook, and Watson. I don't know. What do you guys think? Would you have rather had that build? And I don't know, like a Melvin Gordon might have been there. Would you rather have Cook, Melvin Gordon, Godwin, Metcalf, and Watson? Or would you rather have what we have here? Mahomes, Godwin, Cook, Metcalf, Hunt. You tell me. If we didn't go Mahomes, we most likely wouldn't have gone Hunt there, though, if we had taken, let's say, a Melvin Gordon. So I kind of like Mahomes and Hunt better than I like Watson and Melvin Gordon. Yeah, I still like it. I still think we did the right move. I just wanted to break it down and reverse engineer it. And honestly, I think it was fine. All right, next team. Let's see here. Nation. Thumbs up on your way in the door. Wipe your feet, please. 10 thumbs up, really, at this point in the show. Michael Thomas at 1. It was hard for us to pass on Mike Thomas the pick prior because we had the 1.6. They took him at 1.7 steal. But again, we got Godwin. Godwin's capable of being near as good as Thomas, and we would have missed the running back difference. The difference between Cook and who we get in that 2nd round was significantly different. That gap was wider than the gap between Thomas and Godwin, in our opinion. I think we made the right move going Cook and Godwin instead of Thomas and then being like, who the hell do we take now with all the running backs that are gone? Thomas, Fournette, I don't like Fournette. I like the Kittle pick. Odell's kind of interesting, but you're coupling Fournette risk with Odell risk, Hilton risk. There's a lot of risk going on. But then you've got the steady Kittle, Thomas, Ingram, and Wilson. Very balanced between risk and safety. I'm going to say this team, if Fournette ends up being even remotely close to earning its value, that this one right here is definitely one of those top 6 teams, top 5. I'd say B. Did I give the other team a score before this? Fix? What did I say Fix's team was? Let me rate his team. Fix, if I didn't give you a score, your Adams, Drake, Cooper, Connor, Lockett, Waller, I'm going to say yours is a B-. There's a lot of B. Like, I feel like I'm being too easy on everybody because everybody's getting like a B- or a C+, or I'm not hard on anybody right now. I think maybe this is a weird draft. Like, we have a very, very balanced group of teams, and that sometimes happens. So next team, so Tom, this team right here, I'm going to give a B- too. Everybody's getting B. Everybody's getting a trophy in this review, but maybe 1 or 2 teams. So get ready. Oh man, is my system locking up again? Hang with me. I'm going to see if this rebounds. Can you guys hear me? Comment if you can hear me. I think things locked up again, but they should bounce back. So hang with me. As far as like steals of the draft at this point, like looking through these teams, I really think Waller was a steal in that, what was it, 7th round. I think Watson in, what was it, round 8 was an absolute steal. Okay, I think it's back. It's freezing on me big time. I say if Fournette is decent and Odell balls. Hilton a risk. He finally has the first string quality quarterback. Look, Joe, I'm okay with you liking Hilton, but let's not pretend that Hilton's accepted by the rest of the world. You say that like I'm in the minority. Like, what, Hilton a risk? Smitty? Come on. Joe, for that. Can't even click on my soundboard, Joe. I'm trying to make you take a lap, and I can't even do it. The soundboard doesn't lie. Maybe I'm wrong, Joe. Maybe you don't deserve to take a lap. We'll see. We'll see what the soundboard ends up doing. If the soundboard decides you're taking a lap, you're taking a lap, Joe. I don't think you're taking a lap, Joe. Damn it. Freaking system. I need to get a second computer to just stream with. Computer? Get me another computer.
iMac, Dell Optiplex, single board computer, MagSafe and Dell Vostro, among others.
Thanks. Okay. Joe, you're not taking a lap today. You're saved by the system breakdown. Couch. Gotta try and review Couch's team now. But, of course, my system is locking up, so we might have to look at the rest of the teams in another stream, but we'll see. I can read them off. That won't be as fun. Damn it. Let me see if I have any other things running in the background that I can kill, so that my system is working. 1 second. Okay, that should give us a little bit. We need more power. Oh. In other news, Mostert, I got a pod out on Mostert. I don't know if you guys have listened to my podcast as of yesterday, but definitely check it out. Go to any of your streaming, your podcasting platforms, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, any of those, and you'll hear a Mostert Does he have leverage? Podcast. I think it's pretty entertaining. Good content. Definitely give that a listen, and spread the word about the podcast, audio and video. You can always send people to smitty1.com. But definitely hit that thumbs up if you're still here in the waiting room. I don't even know what the heck's going on with my stream right now. All I know is I can't move anything. It's frozen. All of it's frozen. And I don't know if I kill the software if it's going to continue streaming. So I might have to stop it for the night. Restart my damn computer again. Again! Nations team, if I can drag that on the screen here. And Couch's team. Let me review them. If you can still hear me, I'll at least go through these teams verbally. Okay, so the experts team: Barkley, Aaron Jones, DJ Moore, and Montgomery. Can you even see that? No, you can't. McLaurin, Edelman, Boyd, Lat Murray. So Barkley and Aaron Jones, very, very good running backs. I think Aaron Jones is risky this year, but I think had he taken a safer wide receiver instead of DJ Moore, I might like this a little bit better. I don't know if A.J. Brown was there. I think he was, because it was 3.2. I would have liked A.J. Brown more than DJ Moore, but that's me. David Montgomery's good value in the 4.11 range. McLaurin I like. Edelman's okay. This is a good team. I'd probably say this is a B plus team. I think if Montgomery works out, if Aaron Jones ends up being as good as he's capable of being, I really like this team. I think B plus. Wolf's team, Fantasy Football Wolf. So that was the Fantasy Football Expert. Go follow him on IG. He's got, I think, 70-something thousand followers. He's a big dog on IG. Kamara, Kelsey, David Johnson I don't like. Diggs is too early in the 4th round. Keenan Allen's okay in the 5th round. AJ Green too early in the 6th round. James White okay. Philip Lindsay in the 8th, no thanks. Jefferson. Brady was great value in round 11. That was probably his best pick. That's crazy good value. Like, wait on a QB if you want. If waiting on a QB is your thing, I mean, shoot. Brady at 10, 11 round range, that could win you a league if you draft right. But overall, Kamara, Kelsey, I don't like David Johnson, don't like Diggs. I think this team's like a C minus because I don't love David Johnson enough as a 3rd drafted player, and to back that up with Diggs, Keenan Allen, and AJ Green and James White as the next consecutive picks in rounds 4 through 7, I'm just not feeling this team. The couch, fantasy couch. Elliott, Gurley, don't like the Gurley pick at all. He knows that. The whole world knows that. I think all of his followers probably don't love it either, even though they drafted it. I mean, it's just, it kind of fell, I think, to them. They wanted a running back. But I don't like Gurley in the 2nd round at all. Like, it's an awful pick. But Elliott, can't go wrong at number 4 overall. Allen Robinson, pretty darn good value at 3.4. Ridley at 3.9 is very sneaky and good. Andrews is probably one of the better picks in this draft at 5.4. Keyshawn Vaughn I like a lot at 6.9, kind of sneaky. Dak was a value for them. They hadn't had a quarterback yet. They get him at 7.4. Damian Williams is strong. After that Gurley pick, and of course I love his first pick. I like all of his picks. I think this team is very, very good. Top 5 team, B plus easy, maybe even A minus. Had he not taken Gurley and taken a better player, this would be hands down the best team in the draft right now. But now there's an opening for all of us to at least try and take it down. But I think it's a front runner in terms of, like, I call it a top 4 front runner. It's got a crack. and the foundation and Gurley. I don't like that pick at all. I think it's such a wasted opportunity. But love the Elliott Robinson. But I'd say B plus right now. Yeah. If Gurley worked out, it'd be an A, but I don't think it's going to work out. Last team to review. I think that's all of them. Henry, Sanders, Adams, Thomas, Cook, Chubb. We had the Delvin Cook team. Barkley. Did I do Profit yet? Profit. Number 1 overall team. Number 1 overall pick draft selection. My comments froze, guys. I don't know if you can still see me. Hopefully you can. McCaffrey at 1.1. Him or Barkley, you can't go wrong. Mike Evans was a really good pick at 2.12. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I love that pick at 3.1. You got to like that. Sutton, I'm not a huge fan of at number 4.12, but it's not horrible. Singletary at 5.1 is not horrible either. I mean, really no bad picks for this team. And then Landry, I don't like at all. Like, that's a bad pick. Like, we don't even know if Landry's going to be healthy, but Hunter Henry it's in the 7th round. It's okay. Drew Brees is good value in the 8th round. Christian Kirk in the 9th. John Brown in the 10th. Darrell Henderson, I like that at 11.1. No risk at that point. Overall, I'm going to say this team is a B+. They're not, and that's it. That's all. We had literally one team, I think it was Wolves, that was, I think, in the C- range. Did I say D? I forget. But everybody else is like B-, like C+ to B- ish. And there's a bunch of real well-rounded teams. I like them all, for the most part. I think we all drafted pretty good, and that's a testament to our communities. But I want to thank you guys, the Fantasy Football Show followers, and just the Throne followers in general. If you're from another house in here voting, I really, really appreciate you guys becoming a part of the Throne community. And you guys all stepped up for me during that Twitter vote battle that I was in, and I can't thank you enough for everybody coming together for me to win that best or favorite analyst on Twitter. Out of 64 analysts, I won the whole bracket, which was a big reason because of you guys coming together to vote for me. Thanks to Rapper, Couch, all you guys, like Ari, Wolf. I don't want to leave anybody out, so I'm pulling it up. I don't want to leave anybody out. Last thing I want to do is say thank you to not everybody for helping me on that. That was fun. We had, if you don't know what I'm talking about, on Twitter, we had Adam Rank try and step in and push along the competitor I was going up against in the bracket into the next round. And Adam Rank, all 3 of the fantasy footballers, they were all tweeting, not just like commenting. They were tweeting actual tweets out to get people to vote for the person I was going up against, and I still won, and it was because of you guys. Expert, State of Mind, Rapper, Wolf, Nation, Prophet, Couch, Fantasy Couch, Fantasy Football Beast on Instagram, Analyst, Fantasy Football Analyst. Go check out his new YouTube show, Fantasy Football Fix, Guru. I think I named everybody, but all of you guys. I have to look at that sometimes. There's 12 of us. Like, I forget. I'm like trying to tag a lot of times all these teams, and I'm like, who am I missing? I'm going on a live interview here in about an hour on a padathon to raise money for the Hayden Hurst Foundation, which is a cool foundation, and definitely urge you guys to watch me on that. I'll probably put some details on IG and Twitter. On my Twitter now, you can go and check it out and watch the live stream, and I should be jumping on that live stream, but you can see it on my Twitter profile. Go to _Smitty show, _Smitty _show. Sorry, let me put it on the screen. I can't put it on the screen. My thing's frozen. _Smitty _show on Twitter. I've just recently tweeted out where you can find the show, and I'll be on that podathon here in about an hour. But that does it for my Throne review. Sorry about the thing crashing, and I couldn't show the graphics for the last few teams. And the first stream crashed. We have 2 stream reviews, but hopefully they're both entertaining. Appreciate you. Subscribe on the way out. If you haven't subscribed to this show and you want more content like this, subscribe. tell your friends, tell your grandma, tell whoever, and make sure you hit the thumbs up on the way out. And ask me a question once this video publishes, because I want engagement on my comments and on my videos. It makes YouTube push it out to more people. So the best time to ask me a question is when a video just gets put on YouTube. So this live stream will be processed on YouTube and it'll have 0 comments. You can ask me a question. It's the time to ask me. Just make sure you hit the thumbs up on the video before you ask, and then ask away later. If I can even end the stream. I don't think I can. I think I could crash it. Let's crash it. I can't even crash it. Can I turn my computer off? Can I phone a friend? Let's force quit. Hit the button.